worker bees.
Working girls.
Working girls.
We're
Just
gonna
gonna sing this while you go.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna talk a little bit about a very unsingy happy topic, which is sexual harassment in the workplace, and specifically the workplace that we both work in, which
The
is
entertainment
the film
industry.
And
We're drinking some Dragon Well tea.
some calming tea.
That also has the word dragon in it.
Rawr.
It's aggressive. Yeah.
I was kind of inspired to have this topic because I heard Anita Hill being interviewed on NPR in the wake of the HBO movie Confirmation about her testifying before Congress about being harassed by then not confirmed, now sitting on the bench of the highest court in the land, Justice Clarence Thomas, and how things have changed really for reporting sexual harassment, for getting it taken seriously. I thought about it as I was listening to her, and I was thinking about the differences between what it must be like to report sexual harassment in a corporate or a business environment versus a film set. They
Which
seem...
is ostensibly a business environment.
It's a work environment, but it's not like cubicles and offices.
Yeah.
It is a different kind of work environment,
Yeah.
and I feel like probably sexual harassment is easier to fly under the radar on a film set.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about why. Really recently in the news, Trump's pick for labor secretary was super denied.
Well, he removed himself from consideration, but because he probably wasn't going to get confirmed.
Yeah.
Because among other things, his ex-wife alleged that he abused her.
Yeah, which is not in the workplace, but it definitely does affect his workplace.
And he was going to be the Secretary of Labor.
This also recently happened with Roger Ailes at Fox, being forced to leave.
Yep.
Basically.
Totally had to leave.
Which is great. That
Yeah.
they're no longer predating the workplace.
A step in the right direction, for sure.
Yeah, but we also have a guy, Best Actor, who is known to have sexually assaulted a woman literally on set.
On set. And we have now had stories come out about the set of Last Tango in Paris.
With Bertolucci and Marlon Brando.
We've had stories come out about the set of Election with the first AD, George Parra. Just a rogues gallery of famous A-list celebrities who continue to be hired and cast and respected that have
Perpetrated sexual violence against
long
women.
lists of accusations against them.
Like your faves. So how does this happen though? Like we do have sexual harassment laws, and in business rooms, you know, you have seminars and you have to watch
Everybody
videos
makes
and
fun
stuff.
of those silly videos.
But why is this still happening on film sets specifically, the film industry?
We have a couple of ideas about this. Film companies are created and disbanded with pretty serious regularity. I mean, the company itself that makes the TV show or the movie, that hires you, they're not your employer of record for tax purposes, for the first thing.
But the actual company that is liable for the things that occur on the set is often an LLC that's created specifically for that film or television production.
And when it's over,
that company disbands completely. It no longer exists.
there's no officers, there's no one you can sue, there's no one to be brought to justice.
Just swept away. So if you did have something that happened to you on set and you reported it, that investigation often goes for a long time, but the shooting of a movie is, 30 to 60 days in most cases. So that's not very long to begin an investigation, and then the company's gone. So who becomes liable for what happens there? You're then looking at a personal lawsuit, the same as any other kind of sexual assault crime.
Anytime you've got a job that a lot of people want to do, you are going to have people who are willing to put up with a lot in order to keep it.
Because if they start complaining, they will be replaced very quickly.
And you also, especially in Hollywood, people joke about Hollywood being a very small town.
Yeah.
But it really is. I mean,
it actually is.
Everybody knows everybody, and once people start talking about you, calling you difficult, you get a reputation for that, and then people don't want to hire you, and your career's effectively over.
Yeah.
And this affects women exponentially worse than it affects men.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that a woman would accuse a man of sexual harassment to further her own career is just like bananas.
accusing someone of rape is never actually going to be great for that woman. Like, it's never going to bring fame or fortune. It pretty much always tanks the entire woman's life, and, like, hopefully something happens to the guy, but usually not.
And even in cases where, like, their career tanks too, we see you at the Oscars, Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
We know you're back.
And then on top of that, you have the bizarre nature of, like, name brand recognition and star power.
Mm-hmm. Which trumps everything. I mean, everything. If you've got name brand recognition...
That's why Mel Gibson is still working.
Because everybody knows his name.
Who he is.
Roman Polanski has an army of people in Hollywood ready to defend him the minute his name is in the news with anything negative.
One of those people very early on was Johnny Depp. Anybody who is going to be a rape apologist, as a woman, you have to look at that person as a potential rapist. Like, we all do.
You might not be in a position in your career where that's something you can pass up. Do I join this project helmed by a serial harasser / pedophile, or do I not? Or do I let my career suffer as a result? And I mean, that's not an insignificant question. And I mean, I feel like women who compromise on that get lambasted for it too. Like, you have to be okay with it because you decided to work with him.
Yeah.
And it's always a lot more complicated than that.
The people that it could be less complicated for are the people holding the purse strings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that could radically change if the people at the super top of the food chain were the ones going, you know what, I'm not going to work with these people anymore. Because the film industry is it's based on personal relationships, you're working in very close quarters for very long periods of time. It might take, like, these larger companies to say that that's their policy and that they're not working with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If we did, say we just magically were able to, like, you know, Akio rapists all of the bad guys in Hollywood and, like, send them off to Svalbard or something, you know, who else would we get instead? And what kind of working environments would we be fostering?
What kind of stories would be told?
Yeah, we're always looking at oh, well, he's so bankable, like, we have to keep working with him. Well, who else could you work with? Like, who else would be a star instead of this guy? How much better could our lives be if we took the chance and just said, nah, I'm going to go with this?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to read or like supply with an army characters who deal with sexual harassment in their films.
Yeah.
Oh, so, man. This is so hard. I want to give them all armies.
Yes, of course.
Let's read Elle Woods.
Yes.
Who deals with her law professor, Monahan.
I think I'd want to elect Anita Hill, played by Kerry Washington in the HBO movie about that confirmation. Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
God.
I know that this isn't an elected position, but I just want you to think for a minute about how different the world would be today if Anita Hill had been put on the Supreme Court instead of Clarence Thomas.
That hurts. I would like the ladies of 9 to 5 to have an army.
They are an army on their own.
They're an army of 3. They need more.
More. Give it to them.
Give them an army. Oh. Catch us next week as we're talking about my favorite film. Is it your favorite film too?
If I have a favorite film, this is probably it, yeah.
It's Casablanca, which was originally supposed to be a Nazi song, but it was still copyrighted in Europe at the time of release and they couldn't use it. Thanks for watching, gal pals and guy pals. If you liked our video, like our video.
Subscribe to our channel.
Check us out on Twitter and Tumblr. We're here for you. If you have feelings, we want to hear them in the comments. We love hearing from you guys.